My name is Anna, and I am a mindfulness and meditation trainer. And I'm very happy and privileged that I can share things that I have learned during this journey of becoming a trainer on Peace Revolution platform. And Peace Revolution is a project that trains people to become mindfulness trainers. So basically what I would like to share with you today is what I've learned in these years of practicing mindfulness and what I've heard from the teachers, from the Buddhist monks. And the topic that we have today is about letting go. And if you have joined my previous live videos, you know that we've talked about how to be okay when things are not okay and about karma. And whenever there is something that becomes not okay in our lives, then very often you may hear the first advice is that, oh, you just have to let go. Even if you've never tried meditation and you just start your meditation, you may hear from your trainer saying that the ability to have a good, successful meditation is equal to your ability to let go. However, letting go is a very popular concept, but it is also a very tricky concept because it's very easy to misuse it. And I will explain you why. Because first of all, it's hard to say and to know, first of all, when to let go and what to let go. And just knowing these two things is already halfway to success. And right now you can hear there is this concept that everything that doesn't serve you, everything that doesn't make you feel good, just let it go. And there are many opinions on that, but me personally, I just don't really find it exactly correct. Why? As I'm saying, it's just my opinion on this topic, and you're very free to share yours in the comments to this video. Why is it so? For instance, if you've ever done something, like if you've gone to the gym, for example, and if you like exercise, during the exercise, I don't know how many people do enjoy it exactly during the exercise, but you're really not in the comfort zone. You're not enjoying the process. You can say, this doesn't make me feel good. It doesn't make me feel nice. But if you let go, the progress will stop. And you will not build your muscles and you will not make yourself healthier. However, if you overdo it, if you push too hard, it will also be not good for you. Or if you don't do it enough, this also will not be beneficial. So knowing what to let go and when to let go is one of the most important things we have to learn in our life before we understand how to let go, before we even start thinking how to let go. And when it comes to knowing when we have to fight harder or when we have to let go, I think there is probably not a universal answer. But my personal experience and my personal vision of it is that it doesn't necessarily need to be something that only brings you comfort and joy and happiness that you have to cling to. It can also be sometimes an uncomfortable situation. It can also be sometimes people that may not necessarily make you very happy. There can be many things. But as long as you feel that through this situation and through these people, you can still grow, you can still learn how to be a better human, then you probably have to stay. Because this is a valuable lesson for you, given there. And our first desire would be just to run away and let go, because we don't like new lessons. They feel uncomfortable, they feel unfamiliar, and we do not want to be dealing with that. Just when you're in school and then all of a sudden physics comes. I don't know. I love physics personally, but I know many people are terrified. And you're like, oh my God, I want to run away because this is something new and it doesn't make me feel comfortable. So this is the reaction that we tend to have in our life every time we face with something that challenges us to go out of what we are used to. And then we think that, okay, it doesn't make me feel good, so I have to let go. But we have to just make sure that when we are letting go, we are not letting go a valuable lesson for us that this situation or this person has. However, if you understand that this is not making you a better person, let's say you have a friend who, encourages some bad habits in you. Let's say, can be anything. And you understand that this kind of a connection doesn't really help you to grow. This can be one of the reasons when you probably have to let go. And the reason why it is difficult. So when we already know that we have to let go and what we have to let go, still it is not easy. Still we are not able to do it. It is very, very hard. Those of you who have tried know that it's very, very hard, even though when you know that this is absolutely right for you, when you know that this no longer belongs in your life. So why is it hard? A simple example, for example, if you feel sad or angry for a long time, for let's say more than 15 minutes, if you feel sad or angry for days, is it good for you? Obviously not. Are you enjoying it? Let's say there is a person who has hurt you and you feel bad about it and you're thinking about it over and over and over again. Is it good for you? Obviously not. Is it hurting a person who has made you feel that way? No, the person lives their life. They don't know. They don't care. But still you will find yourself being caught in this thought and not willing to let go, even something that is absolutely destructive for you. Why is it happening? And for a long, long time, I could not find an answer to it. Like, sounds very logical. If something doesn't make you feel nice, you just have to be able to drop it. Because let's say if you're holding a hot frying pan in your hands, it burns, then you drop it, of course. But when it comes to emotions, you just don't do it. And I was once in a retreat in Thailand, a meditation retreat, and I asked a monk, why do I feel sad and I can't do anything about it? Like, there is this situation, it just makes me sad, and I keep thinking about it all the time, and it comes back to me in my meditations, and I just can't let it go. And his answer was, this is a very bad habit that you have. And I'm like, habit. And that was in this aha moment when I realized that the way I think is the way my brain is habituated to think. So the brain can be habituated to thinking in a way which is not very good for you, which is not leading to your growth, which doesn't help you to succeed in your life, but still this is the easy path. Why is it an easy path? Because once in your life you have tried it, it worked, it didn't work, but you have tried it, maybe you have seen it in the movies or in your family history, or friends around you have shown you an example how to behave in such way. So you've tried it once, you've tried it twice, and then it becomes a habit. So for example, somebody hurts you, you yell back, it becomes a habit. Becoming sad when somebody does certain things, or you're in a situation which is not pleasant, is also a habit. So the way we respond to things is the habit of our brain to be in a certain way. And when it comes to letting go, do you have any habits? Something that you do every day. And you know that letting go habits is not easy at all, because this is so much deep inside ourselves that we really need to get from this autopilot mode and go deep inside and really change this. Because our day-to-day life, we run on a sort of like an autopilot. And this autopilot is comprised of many different habits. And just like the airplane is run on autopilot, Same way we run our life on autopilot. And for the brain, it is a very good state of affairs because the brain doesn't need to think too much. It has a set of habits and it will work on them. The brain will not think what is good for you, what is bad for you. It will choose the easy route. But you, at the same time, you can really see what works for you and what doesn't. This is called being mindful. When you become mindful, you understand this is good for me, this is bad for me. And now I can make a choice to choose what is good for me over what is bad for me. And first, it comes from a decision to do it in a different way. And it will not be easy. It will be difficult because it will feel unnatural. Many times people say, oh, but it feels unnatural. This is not my nature. But what is the nature? Nature is what you're habituated to. If you get used to something else, your nature will change. So don't really go to this nature part, because what is natural is what you are habituated to, and you can easily change your nature. So if you want to change your habit, if you understand that something you are doing is causing you harm over and over again, then you have to start doing what is unnatural. And in the beginning, you will be really resisting doing that. I'll give you a simple example that many people can relate to. Let's say you have a habit of, let's say you are in a relationship and you are afraid that another person may break your heart because your heart has been already broken once. And whenever you see that relationship come into this intimate zone where you open yourself up, you tend to run away because you don't want this heartbreaking thing to happen. So you would run away over and over again, because, of course, preventing yourself from being happy with a good person, because this will be your habit. So you will sabotage your own relationships all the time, because for your brain it will seem like an easy route. So what you will have to do in this situation, you would need to think, okay, do I want to be alone? Do I want to be with a partner? If you want to be alone, that you can just keep doing what you've been doing. But if you want to be with a partner, then you have to do the opposite to what you're used to do. Do something that feels unnatural, to let go of your previous pattern and change it. So whenever you want to run away, you're staying, because you understand, you become mindful. You understand that this is the play of your mind that doesn't let you become closer with a person because you're afraid of your heart to be broken. This is one very simple example, but it comes with everything. This is where mindfulness plays a key role. Whenever you find yourself in a situation that you don't entirely understand, you just sit back and think, what do I want to have? What do I want to do? What I'm doing right now, is it helping me to be where I am? Is it my previous bias, previous fear, not letting me go where I want to be? And once you understand it, you need to let go of this old scenario that plays in your life. And you let go by creating a distance from it, by turning off the autopilot mode. How do you turn off the autopilot mode? You are doing it through becoming mindful, through becoming aware. You're asking yourself, hang on, what is going on here? What is happening? Where am I going? Why do I feel this way? Why do I respond in such a way? And this is when you take back control over everything that happens in your life, and you can choose which way to respond. You will do it once, but then most probably you will have to do it twice and 3 times and 4 times, because the habits don't die easily. But this is the only way. This is how we practice letting go. We are practicing letting go by creating the distance. And the reason why letting go is so difficult is because most of the time it feels very unnatural. There are actually 2 reasons. One of the reasons it feels very unnatural because we habituated to another thing. And another thing why we are afraid to let go is that we are simply afraid. There is fear. Remember, for those of you who have probably seen the previous talks, we talked about the nature of life. And the nature of life, according to Buddhist concept, one of the one of the main characteristics is that life is impermanent. And we can't deal with impermanence. We want to make the life permanent, which is why we rebel against every change that may happen. So whenever we are afraid of life, in fact, we are afraid to live, then we become someone who wants to keep everything and not willing to let go. Have you ever seen these children who are afraid to swim in the water, in the lake? They go inside the lake and they just stand like this, all tensed, and they're not able to float. And of course they drown because they can't let go. But those of you who have gone through this phase, you know that the only way how you can swim is if you relax. Once you relax, then you let the water lift you up and then you float. So when we are afraid of life, when we are afraid of losing, when we are afraid of everything that can happen, when we are afraid of losing control, then we try to cling onto everything we have. And then we are not ready to let go anything because we think that if we let go, we're going to drown. Just like the kid in the lake thinks that if they relax, they're going to drown. But reality is completely the opposite. If you relax, you're going to float. Same in life. Sometimes we think if we let go, we're going to sink. But in fact, when we let go, we become lighter. So we're going to lift up. It's going to become easier. So we need to overcome this fear and just relax and let go everything that you feel, as we discussed earlier, prevents your growth and I would say makes your soul or heart heavier. And the choice will always be yours. It's always up to you to decide when you have to let go and when you have to fight harder. But whenever you found that there is something you have to let go, first of all, have no fear. And second of all, create the space, breathe in, breathe out, and do what is right. Sometimes doing what is right is doing what is unnatural. And that's a good thing, because this is how you create a new nature for yourself, a better one. And I think this is all I wanted to share today about letting go. This is not an easy topic. And as I mentioned earlier, for those who practice meditation, in meditation, your success is proportional to your ability to let go. And another thing that I discovered myself after almost 8 years of practice, in meditation, you train yourself to let go. You're letting go thoughts, you're letting go desires, you're letting go many, many things. And this is how you create a habit of letting go. And if you're doing it every day in your meditation, then you discover that in your life, in your day-to-day life, you become much better at it. You become much better at creating distance between yourself and a situation, and then you can take this pause to really push it away from you or bring it closer, depending on what you want. So I wish all of us to be mindful, and even a short meditation a day will really help you to train this ability to let go. Just try it and see for yourself.